Hi everybody, today I would like to tell you about exclusive project of our company, which is called BILTMORE Residences. I want to start with the BILTMORE brand because if a person is not within the framework of American culture, he may not quite understand what is at stake. The very first BILTMORE branded hotel was a hotel in Los Angeles that opened in 1920. Over 100 years ago. At the time of its opening, it was the largest hotel in the entire United States, with about 1,500 rooms. In its own way, this is a legendary hotel where the Oscar was first conceived and the drawing was drawn, and this award was presented in this hotel in the 30s of the 20th century. It was also Al Capone's favorite hotel. In the 1960s, the Beatles were unable to enter this hotel from the front door and had to fly in by helicopter and land on the roof of this hotel. Because there were a huge number of fans around the hotel and they didn't let their car through. Such famous films were filmed here: 11 Friends of Ocean, Chinatown, Rocky, The Italian Job, and so on. John Kennedy started his election campaign here. As you can see, the interior here is very sophisticated. It was designed by interior designer Giovanni Smeraldi, who also did interior design for the Vatican and the White House. It was the first hotel of the Biltmore chain. Then there was the Biltmore in London and then in Tbilisi. And wherever this hotel appeared, there was something unusual everywhere. For example, a Biltmore Tbilisi looks like this. If the Biltmore in Los Angeles is super Baroque, such as super pompous style, then in Tbilisi the deconstructivism in the style of Zaha Hadid is a very unusual building. It stands out strongly against the background of the classical and Stalinist architecture of the city of Tbilisi. In general, this is not a simple hotel like a chain like Ibis or other which has a lot of hotels. There are only 4 Biltmores in the world. Today the hotel is owned by Millennium Group, headquartered in London and Singapore. This network includes 125 hotels from 22 countries of the world. These are mainly Australia, Europe and the Middle East. The company's revenue is approximately $1 billion in 2018. As I said, the pearl and among all the hotels is the Biltmore. Even if you go to the Millennium Group website, the first thing we see will be an advertisement of Biltmore Hotel in Los Angeles. This is the Biltmore Los-Angeles, you can see. As you can see, it's a very famous bar in Biltmore where a lot of stars liked to meet, and the Oscar was conceived in this very place and was awarded in this very room. Now they will show the presidential number. Roosevelt, Reagan, Kennedy, Clinton lived in the presidential suite of this hotel. That is, as you understand, the hotel is a very high level. Okay, I think I have helped you figure out what the Biltmore brand is, the flagship brand of the Millennium Group. Let's now move on to our Biltmore, which is located in Dubai. What is this feature? The first thing to say is that the building has almost been built, that is the commissioning of the first quarter of 25 in a year and a half, but perhaps it will be earlier because, as you can see, the building is almost ready. By the way, the photo was taken not today, maybe already a couple of months ago. You see our logo and the logo of the company that builds the building are written on the building here. I will tell you more about the builder a little later. The Biltmore brand always has something unusual. Tbilisi, where the architecture is mostly classical, Stalinist or pre-revolutionary classicism, they have a piece of glass in style of Zaha Hadid. In Los Angeles, the roaring 20s, they built the largest hotel in the United States at that time in a super luxurious style. They brought furniture from Spain and etc. In general, it's the maximum chic. Here in Dubai, how could they stand out? If it were a standard rectangular skyscraper, it probably wouldn't be as interesting. Therefore, they decided to make the building in Art Deco style, I think as a tribute to the tradition of the history of the Biltmore brand, which was born in the 30s when this style was popular. So, the first feature of the building is that it almost finished, and the second feature is that the apartments are rented fully furnished. Designer furniture is fully included in the price. How good is it that Millennium, a chain of 125 hotels, will manage the house? This is good because their loyalty cards give a discount on room rentals, and their workload is largely due to this. Almost every country has a Millennium hotel, and if someone often travels for work, he uses this loyalty card and checks into the hotel of this network. It turns out much more profitable, and he is always confident in the quality of the hotel service. As you have already noticed from the showroom in the video, this is a pretty high quality. A lot of wood is used here. Can you see? This is a premium finish, especially against the background of all Dubai project. Parquet is used here, while in other projects it is a tile. The quality of the project stands out very much. It was a night light option. Let's take a closer look at the location. The house stands between the entrance to Palm Jumeirah and Sheikh Zayed Road, near the Fairmont Hotel also. As far as you know, this is the one of very expensive hotels. This is Sheikh Zayed Road, and there will be an entrance to the Palm Jumeirah. In total, two types of units will be available: Atmosphere and Signature Collection. But on the 39th floor there is a Benzay garden. Here you can see the towers at such a height. This is Atmosphere premium types of apartments. They will be located from the 39th to the 44th floor, and there will be 36 of them in total. They will be 2 and 3 bedroom. Here we can see the layout. You can pause and consider in more detail. And if we go down from the 38th to 2nd floor, we will see 1 and 2 bedroom apartments. There will be a total 444 residents, and in all building it will be 480 apartments As you can see, the two bedrooms apartments have two balconies, which is also unusual, and they do not have such a solid shape, namely with indents on the sides. This is also very important, because when two balconies touch, many buyers do not like it. In terms of area, you can see approximately 110 square meters in obtained, as that is the large size. Here you see one of the visualization examples. It is particularly a hotel with a higher level of quality in everything that surrounds you. For example, firstly, the lobby will be huge, and secondly, there will be two of them. The height of the ceilings is 7 meters. You can also see the marble. The range of white and walnut color is very well matched. Pleasant and calm colors. There will also be a huge amount of commercial space on the ground floor. You can see them here. There will also be swimming pools for both children and adults. The adult pool will be Olympic size, which means it will be 50 meters long. In addition, there will be valet parking, jacuzzi, and, by the way, a lobby. You can see how it will look and entrance to the house. There will be also a gym, a barbecue area, a house club, a zone for various procedures, and paddle tennis also. The spa will include two types of saunas. At the level of the 39th floor there will be a Zen garden. Here is a good visualization of it. Zen garden is a small botanical garden, and the height of the 39th floor for aesthetic pleasure, different spaces of trees and planted, which harmoniously combine, and where there are sofas. What is great about it is that Dubai is located in the desert, and greenery does not grow in the desert, and in the Middle East region it is a luxury. When such gardens are on the roof, buildings are a doubly good solution. On the one hand, this is a gorgeous view. On the other hand, you can take a walk in a small private park. In other words, it is a panoramic view, but at the same time, you are in the garden. By the way, unlike other hotels such as Six Senses, SLS 5, service charge here as in ordinary apartments in Dubai. It's only 24 dirhams per square foot, unlike hotel operation SLS and 5, where it's about 40 dirhams per square foot. Let's count. For residential apartments, the service charge will be only about $400 per month. For comparison, in the SLS it is about twice as high. As in other SLS hotel chains, there will be opportunity to enter the rental pool. Roughly speaking, this is such a common boiler where all the tenants of the house who of course wanted to, who did not want to, cannot do this, sign an agreement with the Millennium Group hotel chains which owns the brand, after which it manages your hotel rooms. Millennium itself rents out these apartments. We saw the site where this hotel will be added on the hotel's tab. Millennium will also be engaged in public relations of these hotels, advertising, and so on. Why? Because the Millennium will take 7% and another 20% will be taken by the management company that will deal with cleaning, repairs, and so on. Is it a lot or little? 27%. For example, 5 hotels, and which are also excellent, by the way, but which unfortunately have ended. There was a time 5 on the Palm Jumeirah. It was a very interesting offer, but now what is left there is not quite what you need based on the price. So 5, or for example SLS takes 60% for its delivery services. Here altogether 27%, that is 2 times less. As I understand, based on the fact that our company took this building for exclusive, we asked to make certain conditions under which it would be interesting for us to sell it. So the conditions are more profitable than in other hotel apartments. By the way, here are hotel apartments according to the legal status of the residence, that is, they are like an ordinary apartment. It is also necessary to say that in addition to furniture, appliances are also included here. Let's talk a little about the building. The developer GG Real Estate is the largest company in the Emirate of Ajman, which is located between Ras Al Khaimah and Sharjah, as you know. And they have been on the market for more than 10 years. Harry Green Design has been on the market for over 40 years, and they have done over $1 billion in renovations. The company is quite large. The second company that the team is called Canadian Consultant. They are responsible for engineering, design and so on. Okay, let's move on to the numbers. One of the features of this house, why I say that it's exclusive and it worth considering more closely, this is a 4-year installment plan after receiving the keys. That is, let's look at the payment plan, how it looks like in numbers. The payment plan is calculated for a single room, 1,650,000 dirhams. It costs $452,000. Within a day and a half while the building is being completed, you will pay $298,000, and within 4 years, as you see, after receiving the keys, within 4 years you will pay the remaining $162,000. That is the installment plan. It turns out for about 6 years, and if $452,000 are divided by 6 years, then it will turn out to be $75,000 a year only. Also keep in mind that after a year and a half, if you rent, you start to receive rental income. That is the main thing for you, is to pay the cost of $150,000, and after that your tenant will be already paid off most of it. Now let's move on to the most beloved part of the video presentation for many, to numbers and statistics. Let's see how it looks in numbers and how much we can earn with our hotel residence. We will look at the statistic on the website in the Ministry of Economy and Tourism of Dubai. For statistics, let's make the largest report, the most up-to-date information for January-April 2023 for 5 months. During this period, 6 million tourists visited Dubai. Here we see the main directions, mainly Europe, America, and these are the countries of the former USSR. Most of all, and we see that in relation to last year for the same period, the number of tourists is more than 1 million people more. Let's move on to more detailed statistics. Where do tourists come to Dubai from, and how is their number changing? We see that the number of tourists from Russia has doubled, which is logical. From Israel, the growth is doubled also. From Germany, an increase of 57%. The number of tourists from the UK remained virtually unchanged. From Canada, there were more tourists by 64%. The number of tourists coming from the USA increased by 44% compared to last year. Iraq is 46% more, India 46% more also, Kazakhstan 25% more. The growth is almost 2.5 times greater from China. This is very revealing moment, because now, after the end of pandemic restrictions, more and more tourists and investors are starting to come from China, and in the long term, we expected the market to grow precisely because of this factor. Philippines growth of 81%, Australia 61% growth of Omani tourists by 41%, France grows only by 23%. Okay, but let's move on to a more interesting point in our report. We will be interested in the occupancy of our hotel apartment. Dubai and the UAE are a very advanced country in terms of statistics, and here you can even see the occupancy rate not just for hotels, but for hotels, apartments, and for various categories of hotels. What should you pay attention to here? This is that for 5-star hotels is 78%, for 4-star hotels 80%, but at the same time luxury hotel apartments have 84% occupancy. That is, hotel apartments have more occupancy than just hotels. This means that when people have the opinion of choosing an apartment or a hotel, they will choose the former. I think it has to do with having a kitchen in the hotel suites as opposite to hotel rooms, and people wanting to cook and have a kitchen, because this is the only one difference between hotel rooms and hotel suites. We see that hotel apartments are more popular than just hotels. Let's calculate how much our hotel residence will bring us. I suggest counting from September 1st to 2nd, because in summer it is usually a price reduction. November, December, January and February is an increased rate for hotel rooms and residences. Therefore, we will consider the autumn months as indicative, as an average price, and we will consider it for 5-star hotels. I also suggest taking into account hotels that do not have their own beach in order to get the most representative sample. We will start from this area near the entrance to Palm Jumeirah hotels without a beach. Grand Plaza Movenpick 383 dirhams per night. Andres Montgomery 558 dirhams per night. Those dates are already booked somewhere. Grand Cosmopolitan Hotel 483 dirhams. Sheraton Mall 680 dirhams. Let's keep the center, prices are higher there. Let's take away from the center and not DIFC, the expensive location, but away from the center. Movenpick 550 dirhams, Sofitel 760 dirhams, Marriott 365 dirhams, Hyatt 308 dirhams, Grand Hyatt 400 dirhams, Palazzo Versace 803 dirhams. This is also a very prestigious hotel, although the area is not very friendly speaking. La Méridien 425 dirhams, Movenpick 298 dirhams, Sharjah is another emirate, so we will skip it. Let's also take Meydan. Let's see what prices there are. The Meydan hotel is 479 dirhams per night. We can also take the Dubai Hills area. Everything is already booked for these dates. Everything is already taken in Parsha. GVC 549 dirhams. Let's see what happens if we drive further along Sheikh Zayed. What are the prices? Oaks Ibn Battuta 333 dirhams, GLT Sofitel Uptown 429 dirhams, GLT 429 dirhams and 404 dirhams. It makes no sense to take Marina because this is its own area with its own prices. There they will be much higher. Let's now see what are the hotels in this location in which the Biltmore will be located. The Biltmore will be in the Al Wasl area right here. It will be next to James Wellington International School, Park Beach, Dubai Internet City Metro Station. Also, I doubt that this target audience will need the metro, but it is also present here. And here is Media City and Internet City locations. There are areas where there are a lot of companies that deal with the internet, digital technologies, media and so on. Let's look at these nearest hotels to understand in generally what it can be compared with. The first Grand Millennium Dubai Hotel. By searching Google, we see that it was built in 2007, which is almost 20 years ago. That is, it would not be quite representative to compare. Media Rotana was built in 2008, 15 years ago. That is, this is also not quite what we need. And our closest hotel in Al Barsha is the Grand Cosmopolitan Hotel. It was built in March 2020. That is, it's more or less a new hotel that can be compared. Let's take a look at Grand Cosmopolitan by availability of amenities. It also has a panoramic pool. The rooms are very similar in style. My subjective opinion in the Biltmore is due to the fact that there is more wood on the walls, but here are simply painted, and there is also parquet, not tiles, plus wooden inserts, that is interior. There will be never and more interesting. In the Biltmore, Mealy appliances are again, but since it is necessary to compare with the closest analog, let's compare with this hotel. And let's see what the price is here. The price is 483 dirhams per night for the cheapest room, although there are more expensive ones. Let's compare this one bedroom number. 483 dirhams. Let's count with past knowledge about the hotel businesses in Dubai. Let's calculate how much we can earn on our number. 483 dirhams times 365 days a year, and time the occupancy we calculated at 84% in the previous report. We get a dirty income. First we get 148,087 dirhams. From this figure, as we know, we give 27% to the hotel. That is, we multiply this figure by 0.73 or 73%. We get 108,104 dirhams. This is our income minus the management company, brand, advertising, and so on. Let's now look at the price of the hotel, 1.6 million. 1.6 million dirhams. What payback will this number? So we get a payback of 6.75%. As always, I consider the most pessimistic scenario, as if our hotel room will be rented out at this price of this Grand Cosmopolitan Hotel. I believe that it will be more expensive to rent because it seems to me that you always need to lay down the most average, most immediate result in order to secure your risks. I got 6.75% and you need to take into account that this percentage will include the service of renting to your room, cleaning and so on. Plus, since you enter into one common rental pool with all the owners of the hotel residence, you make yourself safe from various fluctuations in the market. Anyone who has experienced the rental of apartments in practice and not in theory, he knows that 7 and 6.7% is a very good percentage, because in theory they can promise 8, 12, 15, as many percent as you like, but then it reads harm when we subtract the cost of furniture, cleaning, realtor's commission and so on. We always get this figure in the region of 6 or 7%. Therefore, I think that this is a very good indicator. What is my opinion on the BILTMORE as an investment? And for whom does it suit my point of view? It seems to me that this is an ideal option for those who want to receive passive rental income but do not bother. You buy rent in the rental pool, it rents for you. You can come 14 days a year if you are in Dubai and stay at the hotel for free also. And the rest of the time the number is for rent. Since this is a shared boiler, it doesn't matter if your particular room is rented. You can even make a mistake with the choice of a layout, for example. Anyway, you will receive a common rent from all rooms. This is the first plus of hotel residences, that the hotel itself rents it out for you. You do not need to look for a hotel company. It does not cheat. This company does not give out some numbers ahead of others, because this is all common boiler or common rental pool, and only the total profit makes sense. That is, there are no such risks that your room will be rented or not rented. In any case, you will receive money for rent. You will never have downtime in connections with this in making a profit, as it could be within an apartment. Also, against the background of all other hotel residences that are on the market. Firstly, it is 4 years payment plan, post-handover payment plan, after receiving the keys. This is a very good opportunity for you. These are the conditions mostly like for the cheaper projects, not for the super brand hotels. Over the past 6 months on the market, there were payment plans of 18 months or a year and a half post-handover payment plans. 4 years for premier project are very good conditions, and they will end soon because company will change it. The next plus, which is obvious, that is, you can, if you need a residential visa and a bank account in the Emirates, buy these resident apartments, and when they are ready in a year and a half, you can get a visa and a bank account, and at the same time not bother with renting. You will receive your passive rental income directly to the UAE bank account and spend it over the wall, and against the background of all other hotel operators. This is also a very good price, because in other hotels the prices are much higher. For comparing, one fraction in SLS costs 1.2 million dirhams, and here, for 1.6 million dirhams, you can take a whole room in a well-known branded hotel, which is located at the intersection of two city centers. On the one side is Palma, Jumeirah and Dubai Marina. On the other side is downtown, which is already very close to go anyway by Sheikh Zayed Road, the main road of the Dubai. The brand is very unusual also. I believe that when this project will be ready, it will take its rightful place, which we are supposed to, along with SLS 5 and other hotels, with the only difference being that here for investor signs this is an exclusive of our company. Conditions were prepared better than in the other projects. As you saw in the video that I showed, the showroom is already available for viewing. You can see with your own eyes the residence and readiness of the buildings, how quickly it is being built and how it will look like. If you still have additional questions about profitable and content, my phone number will be listed under the video. You can write to me and we will discuss in more details those points that interest for you. Thank you for your attention and all the best. Have a good evening.